Have you ever wondered why the US has an electoral college or why a candidate can win the popular vote but still lose the election? Well, the history behind these election quirks is as surprising as it is fascinating. Stay tuned, because we're about to uncover the shocking truths behind the US presidential elections. Ahoy, mateys! Grab your historical maps and put on your voting hats, because we're about to set sail through the unexpected twists and turns of US election history. The United States began as a country where only white men who owned land could vote. In the first election of 1789, George Washington was elected as president with only 6% of the population able to vote. There were no direct elections for president back then. State electors cast votes on behalf of the people. Sounds complicated, right? Well, it was, and still is. As the country grew, so did the fight for more inclusive voting rights. In 1828, all white men, regardless of property ownership, got the vote. But the fight didn't end there. In 1870, the 15th Amendment was ratified, granting African American men the right to vote. While this was a huge step, many southern states used discriminatory practices like poll taxes and literacy tests to prevent African Americans from voting. It wasn't until the Voting Rights Act of 1965 that real change happened. In 1920, the 19th Amendment gave women the right to vote after years of hard-fought activism by suffragists like Susan B. Anthony. The 20th century brought major changes to how presidential candidates campaigned. Before then, candidates rarely appeared in public rallies. It wasn't until the 1920s that campaigns started using advertising. But it was the 1960 Kennedy-Nixon debates that changed everything. Television turned political campaigns into a spectacle, allowing voters to connect with candidates on a personal level. As media evolved, so did campaigns. In the 1990s, Bill Clinton's team embraced the internet, and now candidates use social media, tweets, TikToks, and more to connect with voters instantly. Let's pause and talk about one of the most debated aspects of US elections, the Electoral College. While it was meant to give smaller states more of a voice, it's led to some controversial outcomes. Take the 2000 election, where Al Gore won the popular vote but lost the Electoral College. Or 2016, when Donald Trump won the Electoral College despite losing the popular vote to Hillary Clinton. It's left many questioning. What's the point of voting if it doesn't match the final result? Social issues have also shaped US elections. The civil rights movement of the 1960s, the anti-Vietnam War protests, and the push for LGBTQ rights influenced many campaigns. More recently, issues like healthcare, immigration, and economic inequality have become key talking points. For example, in 1992, Bill Clinton's campaign slogan, "It's the economy, stupid," resonated during tough economic times. Barack Obama's 2008 campaign, with its message of hope and change, reflected the country's desire for renewal after the Great Recession. So, what's next for US presidential elections? With the rise of digital campaigning, candidates can target voters with laser precision. The increasing use of data analytics means that future elections could be more personalized than ever before. But will this help create a more informed electorate or just manipulate emotions? And then there's the ongoing debate over the Electoral College. Some states have already passed laws to allocate their electoral votes based on the national popular vote. This could change the way elections are decided. The history of US presidential elections is filled with twists and turns, but one thing's for sure: voting is one of the most powerful tools we have. The next time you cast your vote, remember you're part of a long tradition shaped by years of change and progress. If you enjoyed this history lesson, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment below with your favorite election moment. And remember, history is full of surprises.